Welcome to the InHer Circle podcast with MsHoliness, bringing you a dose of inspiration from the ground to greatness, starting now.
Welcome, people of purpose. This is the InHer Circle podcast, episode 8, entitled Be the Gift. Yes, be the gift. I am MsHoliness, and I am so happy that you decided to tune in with me for a dose of inspiration. But before we get started, let's do a recap of last week's episode. So last week we talked about after the love is gone. So after the love is gone, talked about what one is to do when they lose their love for their passions. And it was simple. You simply reignite the passion, find the love again, and you get out there and get going, okay? You make the dream possible again today. So let's get into today's episode. As I forestated, today is episode 8, entitled Be the Gift. So yes, be the gift. So what does be the gift consist of? So many times in this life, people are always looking to connect with people for an opportunity, okay? There's always some sort of motive attached to it or behind it. But what I want to suggest here is that when you connect with people here in this season, that you go with the intention to be the gift, okay? You go with the intention to bring something to the table. You bring something to the table that's going to be a help and a blessing to the person or persons that you're connecting to. You know, so a lot of times what I have found is that a lot of people are looking for their big break, okay? They're always searching for an opportunity. But what I also found that works best is when you extend yourself to be the gift and become the opportunity. Does that make sense to you? So in essence, what I'm suggesting is instead of always looking for an opportunity, instead of always looking to connect with people with a motive, essentially just go out here and pursue purpose and become the opportunity, and people will seek you out. They will see what it is that you have to offer. They will see value in it, and they will want to connect with you as a person of purpose. So in essence, other people of purpose like to connect with other people of purpose. But it is the case that they don't want to feel like they're connecting to an opportunist, because essentially at the core of things, you always want the connection to feel genuine. You want it to feel authentic, even if it is a good business working relationship, okay? You still want to make sure that whoever you're connecting with in your business handlings and in your day-to-day, where your purpose is concerned, that it's a trustworthy person in your mind, as it makes things more seamless. You kind of don't want to connect with people that you cannot trust. And likewise, in turn, you don't want to go and try to connect with people who don't essentially trust you and they feel like you're just there with hidden motives and agendas. You know, like it was a saying going around like a few years ago that said, "Ooh, get away from me. You smell like hidden motives and agendas." And I could totally relate to that saying, because at a time in my life, I had people in my life that had only connected to me for an opportunity. You know, they were opportunists. They connected to me for what I had, for what I had to offer, for the people that I had in my sphere of influence, for my connections and things of that nature. Now, there's not anything wrong with that to a degree, so as long as your motives are pure. But if you're connecting with somebody solely off the basis that you see the lifestyle that they have and you want in, then that's not a good link, okay? You know how you guys like to say link. You typically say sneaky link or let's link. But that's not a good link right there. Because people know the vibes. You know how we say vibes is a vibe. We can feel things. People know the vibes. And if anyone is anything like me, I'll let a person in to a degree just to check their spirit. Just to kind of see, okay, I knew you was dusty before you got here, but you even dustier up close and personal. So, what I've learned throughout my journey for myself per se is that I don't like to connect with people who are not authentic, who are inauthentic or pretentious, okay? I like to connect with genuine people who genuinely care about people, even if it is just for a business opportunity or opportunity period. I still want to feel like what I'm bringing to the table is valued and appreciated, and make other people to know that likewise, and in turn, what they're bringing to the table is valued and appreciated. But before we go any further, we're just going to take a commercial break and then we'll be right back.
And now a word from our sponsors. Nerd Boy Rich Clothing for your hottest urban streetwear. MHW Creations, servicing all your literary needs. And Ace the Weave Doctor, hair extensions done right. For sponsorship opportunities, inquire within. And now back to the program.
Yes, so that was a word from our sponsors, and we are back talking about being the gift. Yes, be the gift. Be the gift and not an opportunist, okay? Be the gift and not someone that's always coming with hidden motives and agendas. Go into every pursuit towards purpose with an earnest, genuine heart, sincere in all of your approach, so that you can make genuine connections and link in the most authentic way. So you can make the most use off of the connection so that there won't have to be a break in it, okay? Because a lot of times, as I first stated, other people of purpose don't like to connect with disingenuous people. It's kind of like we can smell a disingenuous person a mile away, okay? For instance, in about 2018, okay, I had a lot of people that just essentially wanted to connect with me. And this happens a lot. I'll have these waves, okay? There'll be seasons of a dry spell and I'll just be off over here getting to purpose by myself. And then next thing you know, there'll be a season where everything will just pick up and there'll be random people come out of nowhere wanting to connect with me for purpose and find out who I am. And that's all good, well, and fine. So as long as that when they come over to connect with me and to see who's here, their intentions are pure, because I can always spot out the ones who are not here for a genuine connection, and they're just here to kind of see what they can get and how they can get in to see how I'm getting it. You know what I mean? So going forth into the future, you guys, I want you all to be mindful of that, and I want you to be the gift, okay? I am the gift a lot of times when I make connections with people. Not only am I going there for the connection in order to, make something happen, but likewise, in turn, I'm adding value to their lives as well. I've had mentors and different things in the game and the writing industry and ministry and everything, but I didn't just allow them to sow in and pour into me. I sold and poured back into them likewise. So it was an exchange, an authentic exchange. So it was no robbery, okay? So there was no robbery. There was fair exchange. We both got something profitable out of the ordeal. And profitable doesn't always mean money, okay? I'm just talking value, adding value to another person's life instead of always seeking to take away. As you know, we live in a society of take now. We have a whole bunch of takers, and as a gift, all right, as a person of purpose, we have to be mindful of that, because we don't want to fall under the guise of being a taker, because a taker essentially is not what we are striving to be. We don't want that kind of energy around us. We want to have the kind of energy around us that says, I'm here to give and I'm here to receive, okay? It's going to be a two-way street. It's not going to be a one-sided relationship or connection. And it's not going to be the kind of connection where somebody always got to be side-eyeing you because they're not sure what you're there for. So when you go, be a gift, and likewise allow the connection, the person that you're connecting with, to be a gift back to you in turn. So let's segue over into today's hot button topic, you guys. So you guys, speaking of gifts, let's talk about this coronavirus and its Delta variant. Coronavirus seems to be the gift that keeps on giving, okay? It's the gift that none of us wants. It's more like a curse. So as it stands, coronavirus is running rampant again throughout the United States and abroad. And we have what you call a Delta variant. Go figure, because it's taking flight. And it seems to be traveling here, there, and everywhere. And we have cases popping up all over. And essentially, it's just not safe to really be gathering in large crowds, okay? Be amassing, and to be going to pools, to be going to beaches, and to be doing stuff like that. Essentially, I just feel like America opened Pandora's box a little too soon. I feel like they rushed everyone back out into society. I feel like they should have taken their time with administering the vaccines, doing a double-blind study here and there, and kind of keeping some restrictions in place. Instead, it was a driver start your engines kind of thing, where they revved up the engine and just let everyone go for what they know. And these are the results of it. The results are that COVID cases are rising. In spite of the fact that they've been pushing this whole herd immunity, where everyone should get vaccinated and you'll be safe, blah, blah, blah. Well, how about people in New Jersey, where I'm from, have passed away? Vaccinated people. 100% vaccinated people. 19 of them, in fact, that have been reported. And as it stands, I'm sure many more vaccinated people have passed away. We know that America is known for keeping a tight lip with stuff. So I'm sure that those 19 people reported in New Jersey are not the only people who were vaccinated who have passed away since being vaccinated. And then so many cases are being reported that vaccinated people are getting sick at alarming rates. But do you guys know why they're getting sick at alarming rates? Because America convinced these people to take a vaccine that they knew did not work. They didn't have enough research for this vaccine, and they just pushed it down everyone's throats and sold them a dream. Now listen to this. They convinced everybody to get this vaccine. They didn't say that it would prevent coronavirus, but they said your symptoms wouldn't be as bad if you got coronavirus. And then it's kind of like, okay, get the vaccine. It's not going to prevent coronavirus, but we want you to get it to prevent coronavirus. What in the oxymoron is going on? I don't know what America is up to, but they need to stop it. They need to cut it because people's lives are at stake. They have essentially put it in people's minds that they can get this vaccine and be outside without masks. And guess what? That's what the people did. They trust the word of government. They trust the word of the CDC. They trust the word of their physicians, okay? They trust their words, and now people are suffering at the hand of government, at the hand of the CDC, and at the hand of these physicians, quote unquote, who have been pushing this herd immunity nonsense, all right? So I don't have a qualm with the people. I have a qualm with government. So I don't have a qualm with the people per se, even though I think that we should all be free thinkers. The government has been quite persuasive in getting people to get this vaccine. And they have been quite misleading with how the vaccine actually works. And then physicians have put their seal of approval on it in the CDC. So people essentially trust medical advice from doctors when it comes to medical things. So if a doctor is like, yeah, get this vaccine, it's going to help you out. You're going to be fine. It's going to boost your immune system so that if you get COVID, you'll have antibodies to fight it, blah, blah, blah. That's the furthest thing from the truth. People don't know too much about this vaccine. It's being newly studied, okay? And in my opinion, I know with studies, they always do a double-blind study. So I'm not even sure that everybody got vaccinated. I'm not even sure that everybody got inoculated with the actual vaccine. Some people probably got a placebo, all right? So we have people out here who are part of a double-blind study who are not wearing masks at the advice of government, the CDC, and physicians, doctors, okay? And now they're getting sick at alarming rates and they're spreading COVID. And now seemingly there's this new variant out called the Delta variant. Well, you guys, I think it's a bunch of crap. I don't think it's a new variant. I think this is the same variant that we were working with when they started vaccinating people, but now it's just out of control. So then they got to give it another name and say, oh, this one came in from over here. So now we got to fight this. But no, America needs to stop lying. And they're going to have a real problem on their hand if they don't get this coronavirus under control. But with all you guys, I just want you all to stay safe, use precautions, take measures to social distance still. Don't be gathering in large crowds and amassing, like being at cookouts, swimming pools, different things like that. If you already have vacations planned, you're traveling, try to stay away from people who you're not essentially traveling with. Like stay in your little small sphere of influence in your groups. Essentially, I just don't know what to really say. There's not much that can be said, We just are to remain in faith and pray and trust that we will be covered through this. Covered, essentially. And that, many who have taken the vaccine won't succumb to death or they won't get terminally ill or sick. Like, this is just a sad state of affairs. And I myself am staying prayerful. Even though I don't ambulate and go to and fro all that much, I still kind of live like I'm in quarantine because I knew something was shady with these vaccines. I just knew it. And I don't want to be one of those people who say, I told you so. But America, I told you so. Now the damage is being done and the lid is about to blow. They're not going to be able to hide these new rising COVID cases in the amount of people who are dying who have been vaccinated. They're going to essentially have to lock this place back down. I already see where they're putting mass restrictions in certain places and they're starting to lock certain states back down. Like, this thing is really out of control. And seemingly this time, after they lock stuff back down, I hope that they are smart about things when attempting to reopen again, you guys. I really do. And foreseeably, I see where they're going to put a mandate in place that's going to cause everybody to be vaccinated. And that's going to be a sad state of affairs because this vaccination still hasn't been proven to work. Like, we still have droves of people getting sick who have been vaccinated. We still have tons of people passing away from coronavirus who have been vaccinated. Like, geesh, what is it going to take? You know, you guys, I'm gone. I've said a mouthful. Like I said, I'm staying prayerful. I just want you all to be as safe as possible, remain in faith, and use wisdom when interacting with people, okay, and transacting. Use wisdom. That concludes our talk for today. Thank you for joining me for episode 8 of the InHer Circle podcast entitled Be the Gift. With questions and comments, text 484-393-2730, keyword the InHer Circle Live. To connect with the InHer Circle, follow us on Twitter at the InHer Circle _, on Instagram at the InHer Circle _podcast, and on Facebook at the InHer Circle podcast. For sponsorship opportunities, email us at inhercirclepodcast@gmail.com. Well, this is MsHoliness signing out. I look forward to you joining me for the next episode where I aspire to lift you higher.